Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my YouTube channel, the channel where I strive to make the world a better place, one video at a time. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's topic is anxiety and depression. Anxiety and depression. This is a subject that I really want to talk about because depression is something that I have gone through in times past and still, go through it to this day, depending on if something is going on in my life. Depression can grip at any moment, at any time, especially when a traumatic event happens. But it doesn't have to destroy you. It doesn't have to consume you. You can find a way to be able to cope with your depression, and that's what I want to talk about today. Depression, like I said, still affects me to this day to a certain extent, but I have coping mechanisms, and that's why I am able to live through traumatic events, even when depression tries to grip me. And I want to share those coping mechanisms with you, and maybe you can adopt a coping mechanism that I talk about and mention, or you can think of some other ones and then you can adopt that one. And with the anxiety, I do want to speak on that briefly. Now, I don't struggle with anxiety myself, but I know people who do that are very close to me, people I love very much. And so I've seen it, and it's tough, but I'll speak on that briefly. But I mainly want to speak on the depression because it's something that I personally go through. So with anxiety, there's one particular thing that I do want to hit on with this, and maybe can kind of help you out a little bit. With anxiety, a lot of times you will be overwhelmed by something, and stress will begin to grip you. And a lot of people go into panic attacks. A lot of people begin to worry. A lot of people begin to think negative. There's just so many things that can happen. But one piece of advice I wanted to give you is there's actually a lot of coping mechanisms for anxiety. There are. And I've realized this because there's people I know very, very, very close to them, and they struggle with anxiety. And so I was able to learn a little bit about it and to learn how to deal with it. So one thing is to take deep breaths. Take deep breath. I'm telling you, when you are under an anxiety attack, or you are experiencing anxiety, your heart begins to beat fast. And you have to get that under control, because you begin to be affected not only mentally because of the anxiety, but also physically, because they're connected, right? Your heart and your mind are connected, right? They feed off of each other, right? So it's important to make sure you take deep breaths so you're able to slow your heart rate down. That's very important. Very important. That's it. Very, very, very important to slow your heart rate down. Take deep breaths. Another thing is to use essential oils. Another thing you can do is to take a bath. Another thing you can do is to hug somebody. Another thing you can do is to talk to somebody. These are just different coping mechanisms. I don't know which one would work for you. I don't know how you will get affected by anxiety, but that is one way that you can. Those are just some of many ways that you can. But one thing I'll say is about anxiety, briefly here, is to find a coping mechanism, because there's a lot of them, and they really do help. And a lot of them you can do right then and there to just calm yourself down. Now I would like to speak on depression. I want to talk about depression and name a couple of coping mechanisms that may help you. So me personally, when I was going through deep depression, it was very difficult. And I'm going to say this because it's true. It is very true. It was very difficult to be able to climb out of that deep depression. See, because when you are depressed, you do not have the motivation. You do not have the energy to even do things that will help you get out of that depression, right? You don't even have the wherewithal to be disciplined to do it. See, because sometimes you don't need motivation to do things. What you need is discipline. But when you are depressed, you don't even have the discipline to do things. You don't even have the discipline to wash the dishes. You don't even have the discipline to get out of bed. You don't even have the discipline to work out, or you don't have the discipline to go to work. You don't have the discipline to fold the clothes and wash the clothes. Forget about the motivation. You don't even have the discipline to do it. I've been there. And it's tough. It's hard. It's difficult. But there's one thing that really helped me personally begin to climb out of the deep depression that I was experiencing. Because there's one thing that takes almost no effort at all that I did that saved my life. And that was to tell somebody about what I was going through. That's what I had to do. I had to actually tell somebody. I had to actually sit down with somebody and begin to speak to them. I had to actually release what I was going through. See, because it helps a lot when you are able to release some things. When stress is building up, when the things of life are crashing down on you, when you are going through trauma, all that stuff builds up inside. It's almost like the root of a tree. All those seeds are under the ground. And it's just growing and growing and growing. And soon that tree is going to start growing above ground. That's what happens when you keep negative things inside. That's what happens when you are going through traumatic things. You just keep that stuff inside. One day you're going to explode. You're going to grow out of the ground. Right now it's building up. And it's going to be in a negative way. You don't want that to be. You don't want that to be. What's healthy for you is to be able to tell somebody. Release that. You'll feel so much better. You might begin to cry. That's okay. Crying is good when you're going through hard times. You're releasing. You'll feel much better. They'll be able to be a help for you, give you tips and tricks, give you coping mechanisms. Seriously, talk to somebody. And after you talk to somebody and you're able to release some of that, you'll find yourself getting your motivation, your discipline, your energy back. And you can find some coping mechanisms that help you, whether it be working out. That's one thing that helped me. Watching comedy, funny videos. There's so many out there. There's so many mechanisms out there. You can draw, you can color, go on a run, take a bath, take a shower, eat. Now don't eat too much to the point where you get addicted to it, but I'm saying that's one thing that people love. Go to a restaurant you've never been to before. Go on vacation. Go to a place you've never been to before. Go on a walk. Do something that'll make you smile and make you happy. Hang out with friends. Hang out with people. When it comes to when you are depressed, find a way for you to that will enable you to release some of the stuff that you are holding in, that you are going through, the emotions. Release them. and see if you can find a coping mechanism. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take weeks. Sometimes it may take months. It took a while for me to be able to just grow out of that. But I did. It takes time, but it starts now. Go talk to somebody. Go release the emotions you're going through. It'll help dramatically. It'll help dramatically, okay? It will. It will. Anxiety and depression. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was a blessing and an encouragement, and I hope the words that I said you can apply to your life. Please give this video a like and comment any thoughts. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, turn on post notifications, and share with your friends. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for your support and for watching these videos. I want everyone to have a blessed day, and as always, until next time.